All right, what's going on, people? This is the CornaStore Podcast, episode 37. Subscribe, like, comment, and share the content. You can find us on YouTube, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and iTunes. Appreciate all y'all support. This is Rob on the mic, and joining me on the panel, we got E, Phil, and Nelly. How y'all doing, fellas?
All right, baby.
Good.
We back.
Good.
We back.
Yeah,
We back for another one.
Yeah, that's what's up, man, because a couple of days ago, man, we lost a legend in the hip-hop game. We lost X, and I would make an argument that during this heyday, he was probably like the number one rapper from 98 to 2001. If y'all can say otherwise, let me know. But I mean, wasn't nobody hotter than DMX from 98 to 01.
Nobody, G.
I think when I think about DMX, man, and it's funny because I think this is around the time if we had the car club popping, right?
Yeah.
That's around the time the car club was popping, man. When he dropped our first album, man, everybody was playing that shit, man. Everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he dropped Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood.
Same year.
Classic, man. Classic.
Same year, man. That nigga.
I mean,
man, yo, that's the music we grew up to.
I think if you could honestly say, and we get to the reason why he died in a minute, but just on the music front, I think you can say he probably one of the most influential rappers out there, man. I mean, there was only one DMX. You can't really deny his influence, his flow, any of that, man. So I'm just glad that he was around to, get his flowers, because the man had hits, man. He was dope.
Yeah, no doubt. I believe that, like, when he came out of 98, I think he kind of filled a void that from back in 96 when Tupac died.
Yep, so that's what I was saying.
So that, I mean, we all thought that Ja Rule was that fill-in, but it was actually DMX.
That was what they was attempting to do, but right. X was the clear, you know what I'm saying, the one coming up behind Pac. You know what I'm saying? For a lot of people, he was Pac. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, he was probably a more legit Pac than Pac was.
I mean, right. X, he was all about the streets, but Pac, I mean, he kind of grew up, I don't want to say privileged, but he did attend art schools and shit, and the whole thug life was only a persona. I mean, once he did that role in Juice, he lived that role after that.
Yeah.
Right. Like you said that. I think for me though, I think DMX music hit me differently because, man, it's been times where just things in your life kind of go wrong. You put on Flipping and just vibe out to that, man. You know what I mean? Sometimes he had them songs that either get you pumped or he had them songs that just make you feel like, man, you listen to a prayer and you put on Flipping and you put on something like that that's going to get your mind going. And ain't too many rappers that can do that. Like you said, besides Pac, maybe.
Yeah, Pac was doing that shit. But like you said, it's like whatever mood you want to get in, you could turn on some of his shit and find that mood that you want to vibe to.
Yeah. Yeah. And not just that, fellas. And not just that. Not only was he a good musician, he was a good actor. I mean, Belly, man, come on, fellas. Belly got to be probably one of the all-time hood greats.
That's the hood classic, G.
Hood classic.
Hood classic.
I mean,
just to give some context of I'm sorry, Nelly, but just to give context on Belly, like being that he had 2 number ones in 98, then he came out with and there was X in 99, plus the Rough Riders Ride or Die collaboration in which he was the headliner of that whole album, and then come out with Belly. I mean, he was on fire pretty much those.
That nigga was on fire, nigga.
Yeah, he was on fire. Yeah. Dude, did you guys see the video where he performed in Woodstock?
Yeah, they was clowning white.
Did you see how many people? Did you see how many people was out there, man?
Gee.
I ain't see it.
White people every fucking way. They was going crazy to that shit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we lost a good one, man. We lost a good one. I'm glad he did get a little bit more material out before he passed away. Get the joint with his brothers. You know what I'm saying? That what was that song? We was looking at it not too long ago with
The locks.
The locks, yeah.
The shit with the locks, yeah.
Yeah.
And he got. I don't know how they gonna do it. I saw Jay-Z and Beyonce bought his masters, all his publishing and shit, and gave it to all his kids.
Yeah, shout out to the Knowles Carters, man. Yeah, that was good shit on their part. Yeah,
that was real good shit, man. But they said hell, they got Rough Riders out of debt by doing that shit. But but the thing is, he was finishing up an album. He was talking about that shit on Drink Champs about a month ago now. And he was talking about, he had some hits and shit coming out. So he got some more music out there and just can't wait to hear that. But man, I mean, I was bumping his shit, man. Every album he dropped, I was still on it, man. It kind of got a little watery down. I want to say not watered down, but you can tell he was on a different level or something towards the last few albums, but he still had hits. He still had bangers, man. And I mean, like I say, this nigga, he can make it for the club, like they was saying, for the church. I mean, and then just had some lyrical shit. Yeah. That voice, man, that him and Jay-Z with that Money Cash Hoes, the way he had the energy going into that song. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get too far into the podcast, but as far as how he died, I guess no one really knows the truth. But I mean, I guess they said he OD'd, and because of that he had a heart attack. But he was very public about his upbringing and his life in general. And I think if you look at a lot of people's lives like that they seem like they always chasing happiness to a certain extent. I admire a man from doing that, because a lot of men don't even talk about being vulnerable, and especially the way he was raised. He said he led a rough childhood. So
yeah,
it gets you thinking, like, if we're gonna talk about later as far as like family trauma and how does that affect you later on in life. Clearly he had demons, but it's like, man, sometimes them demons just don't never go away. Unfortunately, it didn't for him. And you have to start looking at his inner circle and his family. Like, as men, man, like we say we friends. If you see one of us struggling sometime, as I guess if you see a guy struggling like that, I kind of question, like, who was in the circle? Like, if the guy had drug problems, I guess you can't stop a guy from doing whatever they're gonna do.
And that's the whole thing, Nelly. I hear what you finna say, but that's his demons. I mean, all them positive. It ain't everybody ain't negative with the Rough Riders and his family. It's just he like that uncle in your family that's on this shit. You love him to death. You want him to do better. You can only do so much, because at the point. Shout out to my nigga Yada, my barber. We was talking about it Saturday. He like, man, you be scared to give him money because you know what he gonna go do with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it ain't like they loved him. And I'm pretty sure he had his years where he didn't touch the shit. But then he had years where he was fucked up, like he could do nothing but. I heard Swiss last night. He was saying the nigga he said, honestly, I'm gonna tell y'all, he like, the nigga went to jail just to get away from shit. Like, the nigga went to jail probably to stay away from the shit just so he can't be in contact with the shit. Like you said, it ain't no secret, man. He talk about how you get that hit, man. You always trying to chase it, and it's hard for a lot of motherfuckers. And I mean, he's still human,
right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, like I said,
I was watching something with Fat Joe was talking about how Swiss always had his back through all of that, so he had support systems. It's just some people can get their way out of it. Others can't, man.
Others can't, right? But you don't love them no different. You understand this nigga done got hooked on some shit. And I mean, everybody saying the stories about when he said he got tricked into doing this shit or whatever. But, you get hooked on that shit, man. It's like, fuck.
Well, he's up. He was getting older. You know what I'm saying? So his body was more susceptible to anything put in it. You know what I'm saying? As we all get older, we
right. You can't party like that. They say they be partying, man. You can't party like that. You get older in age and shit like that. Not the way you was partying at 25.
You know, I just think, you know, it's one part of me that just almost happy that he's gone, because now he can peace, at least he's in peace. You know, like I said, to me, he just never seemed like he was always happy or always there. He was just getting by. You know.
Yeah, but shout out to X, man.
Yeah, I would say that if you grew up in the inner city, you kind of grew up around cats like X as far as his temperament and the fact that he had his demons pre-fame. Like, imagine you get access to all that fucking money, and then all this shit is gonna be magnified. You know, you got millions of dollars, and you got women, and you got liquor, you got drugs. I mean, you got everything at the palm of your hand. So that's
and you right, like you said, it was already an addict before all that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to him for making it as long as he did, because a lot of them didn't even make it past 20 once they got that kind of money.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Hey,
a lot of these young cats right now that's in the game, they ain't making it.
Right. Hey, I kind of want to ask y'all, speaking of Rough Riders, like, where y'all think Rough Riders fall on as far as their influence, as far as their roster compared to other labels? Because like back in that day, of course, you had The Rock, you had Bad Boy, you had Social Death, Aftermath, No Limit, Cash Money, DTP, and Murder Inc. So where would Rough Riders fall on that as far as ranking?
For me personally, like you say, Cash Money, all them. At that time, y'all, as a group, that was number one for me.
Cash Money?
Yeah. No, the Rough Riders.
Okay.
You know, for me, you know, I really would like to hear what groups y'all, or like you say, what cliques that y'all fucked with. But as a clique, honestly, it was them. You know, look, I'm biased to the Rockefeller, you know, with the Jay-Z Nas shit, but they still put out good hits.
I'm not talking about like totality. I'm just talking about back in that time frame.
But in that time frame, Rough Riders, when they hit with Eve and then the Lock Shaw, I mean, God,
it really wasn't nothing else.
You gotta put. Did you put Bad Boy in that, Rob?
Yeah. He put Bad Boy in there. Okay. Mm-hmm. And Bad Boy had a good run. But see, and Bad Boy that had the long run.
You had Mace.
You had Murder Mace. Yeah, you had Murder Mace back then. You did. But
you only had maybe 2-3 artists on that label. You talking about Rough Riders, man. They had 100 motherfuckers on
them niggas. Hey, I hate the niggas that didn't even come out. Like motherfucker, they had niggas on that was spitting. You like, damn, this nigga probably didn't even drop. You know what I'm saying?
Let's keep it 100, fellas. Like when Eve came out, though, it wasn't nobody like Eve out at that point in time.
And
it wasn't no female like Eve out at that point in time. Because you thinking like you had Lil' Kim back then, but Lil' Kim was more on some sexy, raunchy. Like Eve came in the game and hitting bars. You know what I mean? On a hard beat.
On a hard beat. She was rapping like the niggas. She was more like Kim was rapping. I'll give her Kim. She was spitting bars and shit, but it was more ladylike. Y'all know what I'm saying? Like you say, sexy. Like Eve came in like one of the motherfucking dudes, nigga, coming in motherfucking spitting.
Yeah.
Like, bitch, you know what I'm saying? It's like you say, man, shout out to the whole Rough Riders, like DNY, them niggas, man. They lost the gym. They lost the gym a few days ago. Man, that shit fucked up. When every time I think about it, it kind of hit me. But like I say, listening to him with the Locks, Drag On, them niggas, man, Rough Riders was running shit, man.
With the hottest producer during that time too in Swiss.
And Swiss beats, nigga. When you hear that I'm like, what the fuck? That shit hot.
I mean, think about it though. Think about it. If DMX never really made another album, he can tour off his hits alone and make money for the rest of his life.
Yeah, he could. Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? Because I mean, you play Rough Rider anthem to this day.
To this day.
You know,
and that's before he even passed. They trying to cut you off. Like you said, before he just passed. Mm-hmm. If you would have played that shit 3 weeks ago somewhere, niggas was gonna lose. You know what I'm saying? Before he went to the hospital. I mean, that's how that. When you hear that beat, when you hear him come in, you be like, I mean, It was just one of my hot. It was just a classic ass song, man. It's a classic hit.
Yeah, I was on my way to work on Friday. I was just bumping that shit on 88, man. I mean, I just felt some type of nostalgia, just like thinking about how I was feeling back in the day. Listen to that shit.
Hey fellas, is a lot of his music though. I can't remember what song where he talked about I have no love for homo thugs. Like that couldn't really go over today.
Nah, but he said some shits like that. But Ja Rule said that verse, but he said some homophobic shit too. It couldn't go back now. But honestly, dude, you got to think about it. I'm glad you said that too, Nelly, because it's like from like Mr. say what 98 to 01, 02. That music, a lot of people be offended to it right now. But that's just how on eggshells we are about. You can't say fucking anything no more.
Right.
But G, I'm with you, man. Some of the shit he said, man, the storytelling he had in some of his music, the Damien and shit when he making deals with the devil. That shit was just genius, nigga, classic.
Oh yeah.
What these bitches wrong? Dude, every guy been in that situation, man. Every guy been in that situation.
What they want? You know my situation. He said, I got a wife.
Yeah.
He broke it down even back then. Like, what the fuck? What else you want? Man.
Hey, did y'all try to mimic that sex scene in Belly when he was hitting Terrell Hicks?
Man. My soft ass is trying to make love like Nas. But this nigga X is going to attack. Hey, how that nigga put the belt on and got out the bed? Everybody that did that. You a motherfucking lie. If you ain't fuck no chick and was at the foot of the bed, putting your clothes on like, and I'm finna walk dead out this motherfucker.
Right.
That's the shit we watched. That's what we did, man. Like, hell yeah. I don't know no fucking Keanu.
We watched Belly so many times, man.
So many times. See, like, I use that shit. I'm like, I don't know no fucking Keanu. Like, it's like, that was that shit.
If you could hit a chick like that, you could get away with anything. So that's
hell yeah. She got fucked. She went to sleep. That nigga was right out the fucking door. Back on bullshit.
And fellas, on top of that, we can't forget that he had a hit song on the soundtrack.
Oh, Top Shot.
On the Boom.
Yeah.
And I still ain't heard that, y'all. I saw somebody talk about it. I'm like, that's one song y'all niggas, but I know when the weather
that's another one though. That's another song. You play that right now. You play that right now, it's gonna bang. No matter what.
Bang. Here come the boom. Here come. Man, that shit was a classic, G.
Yeah, man. Shit drop a bomb on DMX, man.
Real talk, man. Rest in peace, man.
I think we're gonna have to rest in peace, DMX. I think Rob, you're gonna have to get a drop of the growl, man, in honor of DMX. Man.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Hey, somebody was on the book on Facebook earlier this week, earlier this weekend, and they was like, man, everybody should just go outside and start barking at white people and shit. I swear, y'all niggas are silly as hell, but
y'all niggas go get shot out there, man. So.
I know, but that bark, man, nigga, that nigga said, I'm coming. I'm like, dude, this nigga here had them killer dogs. Stay with them niggas, G. Yeah. Man, from like you say, from nigga growing up, from how he came up, man. I hope like I said, the struggles and everything, but he made his impact on everybody.
You can never say DMX was fake.
No, not at all.
He was never fake, man. To a fault, he was real. To a fault,
I met that nigga at E2's, man. That nigga was cool as fuck, G. Damn.
I've never been to E2's. I mean, when that shit went down, I was in Kuwait watching it on Fox News.
Yeah, and it was like a few weeks before. No, I think it was summertime. I was out there kicking it with Jamie and Devin brother, Jamie, Jamal Devin. And me and him was out. He was like, man, let's go to E2's and shit. I think my girl was up there at the time, her people. We like, all right, we'll pop up there. And he parked out there in the front, olive green Benz. Who the fuck is this nigga? We look, he get out the car. I'm like, damn, what up, Ashley? What up, baby? We like, it fucked us up because we heard the voice. We like, damn. niggas cool, man, get on up in here. You know, because like I said, it ain't no secret too that he was living in Chicago for a while. Around the same time Cam was up here, Cam was on Drink Champs and somebody, he was living in Chicago. They was here around the same time. They was living.
What was Cam staying at though?
I think he was out west. Yeah, he was out west, but
was out
DMX
west?
was up north. Yeah.
Up north. Oh, okay.
But they was both staying here around that time, and that's when they was saying Fat Joe was back and forth fucking with the Latin Kings. He was cool with them. It was like one of them summers where just them niggas was staying here.
Right.
You know, you'll see them everybody was calling DMX at Pullman Park over there on 115. Like playing with motherfucking remote control cars and shit. Like niggas like, damn, these niggas just out here. Cam was working. And you know what Cam was doing. Cam was up here making that money. Shit.
Okay. Cool, man. All right, y'all. Go on to the next topic. Hey, Nelly, you wanted to talk about family drama. This is more like your cup of tea as far as like what you wanted to talk about. So like you go ahead and start first, man. So what about family drama that you wanted to talk about?
You know, I was just I was listening to a podcast a couple of weeks ago, and they were just talking about a couple of things as far as like how family drama affects us as grown folks, or how it affects us as parents, how it affects us as human beings in general, and
right,
and how it shapes and how drama shapes our lives and how we interact with one another. You know, and it caused me to kind of think about a lot of my childhood and a lot of where I was raised and what I have become now. And so I just kind of want to get you guys' opinion as far as like, it's like as growing up, do you think you guys, the trauma that you dealt with made you better or worse as a person, or what did you learn from each other, learn from it? And just like, unfortunately, like DMX, you know, some people don't get past the drama and they go left. Some people make it, you know, some people make it through, but we all have things about us, even today, that we probably wish we didn't have, that we learned from our parents at some point in time, negative or positive. And just how does that affect you when it comes to kids now? Because we all got kids, you know, does it make you more of a better parent than your parents or less than a bad parent? You know, how do all that fit in? You know, sometimes I feel like I'm guilty of just like, I have both my parents in my life, but even with that though, like you grow up not really telling each other, like a lot of you guys don't probably know like how I grew up, but we don't even talk about that. We don't really talk like that, you know, about our childhood. I thought that was kind of interesting, you know. But the way I was raised, I have both of my parents, but I dealt with so much shit in between that time and just into where I am now. And I look back on my life now as far as like being a father, or dealing with things that I deal with personally and how that affects me, you know. So I just been learning a lot about myself over the last 6 months or so, you know, about what I guess triggers me and what keeps me going or what holds me back. And a lot of my drama came from my childhood, and I don't talk about it a lot, but I think as men we should talk about that more. Unfortunately, you know, we lost a brother a few years ago, you know, and Randall, who took his own life, you know, and to this day, no one really knows why, you know. I mean, I know he was going through some things personally, at least in his marriage, but I didn't know exactly what was going on with him a lot. And it's like, sometimes life just triggers you like that, you know. You go from 0 to 100 real quick, and one day you don't know what you're doing.
You don't know why, yeah.
You know, or why you feeling the way you feeling, you know. And I think sometimes I deal with, you know, I don't say depression, but I think it's more of anxiety sometimes, which caused me to kind of climb up, or I get in the shell, and and what I realized just talking to my parents over the last few months, that they went through the same shit when they was kids, you know, not really kind of being sheltered, not really
like y'all really wasn't no open talking to your family type shit.
Exactly.
I see what you're saying.
you know, and I learned a lot of mine. I learned myself in the streets, you know, when I started hanging out with y'all niggas. You know what I mean? I was pretty much learning my life as I went along. I didn't really have, even though I had both of my parents in my life, they didn't really prepare me for life outside of the house. You know, I went to school, I hit the streets with y'all niggas, and I kind of learned life as I went, you know.
Okay.
And it helped me to a certain extent, but it also kind of held me back, you know. So that, in a nutshell, guys, that's kind of where I'm going with you guys. Like, I just want to know, you know, is there any kind of drama in your lives you feel like affected you to where you are now, good or negative?
Go ahead, Phil.
Are you coming at me like I got trauma?
No. I kind of like want to know. I mean, because honestly, like everybody was at my crib, so y'all know my family. Motherfucker, they all talk shit. Rest in peace. My mother, my grandmother. It's like they was always open. Like, nigga, if you got a motherfucking problem out here in the streets, you come tell me. We'll talk it out, or we'll help you with your problems. You know, and that's, you know, you sometimes, Nelly, I can't lie, you lucky sometimes to get something like that. Like, I appreciated that. You know, even my grandfather, when he left my grandmother, he still was around. You know what I'm saying? And they still, it's like, man, it was never that don't know, we all love you, even if we're not together. And that helped me being older, having kids, not being with the baby, you know, with the mothers and shit, to always let our kids know, man, we love you. It just didn't work. You know what I'm saying? But they, you know, man, for Remy to help, you drink that with your family, man. We clown. So that's what I'm saying. Y'all know that. You know, I mean, I'll speak on it for a hot second, but it's like that joy, it's like, shit, you miss it. But it helped me out. You know what I'm saying? It helped me totally out. So that when I get kids, and you know, you got time for them. You gotta just let them know that you love them. And it ain't so much telling them sometimes. Crack jokes on their ass, talk shit about them, whatever. You got a big head, go ahead, water, you know, whatever. But let them know that you tease them. All this is out of love. Mm-hmm. Like, it's nothing else that mean more to me than you kids. None. And that's how it is with me and my wife. Like, all our kids, we love y'all. Grandkids, we love y'all. You know, it's nothing else that's on our mind. Whatever we going through, whatever y'all going through, y'all can tell us, because we love you. We gonna help you out. We're not gonna send you out there with a blindfold on and a cigarette saying that's life.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? What about you, Phil, though?
Man, I don't know. That's a lot to think about, man. Honestly, like in my family, like, you know, I had my mom and dad at home, you know, my whole life. My dad had another family, but he was always focused on our family. You know, everybody knew what was going on. There wasn't no secrets and no shit like that. But, you know, he left the family behind and started a new family with us. And, you know, everything was kosher at home. You know, my dad worked a lot. My mom worked a lot. And, you know, my brothers was much older than me. You know what I'm saying? So I grew up in a single family as a single child because of the age difference between me and my siblings. So, I mean, for me, it's like I learned independence at a very young age. You know what I'm saying? I was forced to be independent, you know, playing independently as a child, you know, having to take it upon myself to get up and go to school in first grade, second grade by myself. You know what I'm saying? Even when I started going to grade school, like, it was a mission. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got on the school bus and went an hour and a half away to school. You know what I'm saying? So I was always separate from my family. So, you know, coming back home to what I grew up in, just the area and everything, you know what I'm saying? I grew up in one of the worst neighborhoods of Chicago, you know what I'm saying, in the low end. And but it was beautiful for us. It was a beautiful experience. You know what I'm saying? We, in the midst of everything that was bad, like, we didn't see it that way. You know what I'm saying? So as an independent kid growing up in the midst of everything, like, I really never felt like I had people coming to my defense ever. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it, even now, like, when I look at my life and how I relate to people, my circle has always been very, very small, very, very tight, because I don't lend you know what I'm saying, I don't lend myself to people like that. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I'm used to being independent. I'm used to knowing that I can't trust people farther than I can throw them. And, you know, I don't put myself out there. And that don't mean I ain't no outgoing person. You know what I'm saying? In the midst of growing up, you know what I'm saying? Because I was independent, I tried and did a lot of things that no member in my, you know, family ever was exposed to. You know what I'm saying? I was exposed to a lot very quickly. So when I look at where I sit amongst my siblings, in a lot of things, in a lot of areas in life, I'm way ahead of them. You know what I'm saying? Just because I was out there doing all the crazy shit I was doing growing up. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, as far as family trauma is concerned, I mean, I really never had much trauma within my own family. Obviously, trauma from the streets, but most of the trauma and drama that happened in my family happened in a city that I wasn't in, you know, hundreds of miles away. So we was pretty closely knit, man. You know, I ain't grew up in a family that was always saying, I love you, I love you, I love you. But I caught on very young, being independent, looking at my parents and seeing what they was doing to make sure I had the things that I needed. And you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things that they didn't know because they were older parents. So, you know, there were some things that they could have took advantage of that they didn't, some of it out of fear, some out of lack of knowledge. And those are just the kind of things that I try to implant on my kids, you know what I'm saying? And everybody around me, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, talking about how to manage your finances, how to manage your household, you know what I'm saying? Being present in the moment and you know, just being there for your family and recognizing when you screwing up and doing shit wrong, trying to make the changes that you have to in order to make sure the people that you love the most are happy with you. So, I mean, it's a different experience for everybody. You know, if you're present enough, then you'll be able to see where you're going wrong. And I think that's where a lot of people don't. That's where a lot of people go wrong. You know, they try and run away from the issues or don't take the time to really look at themselves and see what issues they may be experiencing or putting on to other people. You know, what kind of problems you might be causing in somebody else's life. So if you can take the time to really look at yourself and see how you affect other people and how other people affect you, then you can start to make those changes, whether they be big or small, in order to improve your entire life situation. I mean, but it started with you, man. It started with you being able to self-reflect and, you know, measure yourself against whatever it is you feel like you need to measure yourself up against so that you can improve.
I think that's a good point, Phil, because it does make you really look at yourself and self-analyze where your shortcomings are. You know, for me and my family, communication wasn't always the strongest. And as a 43-year-old adult now, communication for me is not my strongest. It's not my strongest attribute. I tend to kind of like keep my feelings in to a certain extent, and then I reflect them out later. And that's kind of how I was raised. So going forward, I've been trying to just be more open with my feelings and just communicate them better. I might not always get them out clearly,
but at least you try to push it out.
It's trying to push it forward. You know what I mean? Because I don't want, you know, me and my kids are good, but I always push every day to make sure I communicate with them, even if it's just saying I love you. Because I like you feel, I didn't get that in my childhood either. You know, my folks were going around talking about they love everybody. So
I hate I got a leprechaun and rainbows over here, motherfucker.
No, I would say this, man. You know, when I was younger, because I was independent, you know, I didn't really have an outlet to let people know my feelings. Wasn't too many people for me to talk to begin with. You know what I'm saying? That was my age. But right. I really didn't have a way. So I used to write. I used to write a lot. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, you know, whether it be music, rap, songs, or just writing stories. Like I used to write a lot. I'm talking about pages and pages and pages a day. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I've come to the point where now if I ever get into a point where I'm in my own head and I'm just kind of, you know, not really knowing what direction I should go, then I'll start writing. And it could be about anything. It may not even be about what I'm struggling with. But as I start to write, it starts to heal. I start to feel healing you know what I'm saying, internally. So Nelly, I would recommend, you know, being able to communicate is one thing, but you can't always say to somebody exactly what you mean. You know what I'm saying? It's sometimes it's something blocking you from being able to get your thoughts out. So if you can, you know, if you want to, if I would recommend writing, painting is another good way to really start to, you know, just let all of it out. You know what I'm saying?
Find an outlet.
Exactly.
Find
Find an outlet. And you might build a good hobby from it, but it'll also be more it'll be very relaxing for you and comforting for you too, man. So,
I like that shit, Phil. I like that. That's strong. Yeah. Hell yeah. Mister, shoot us about your family. Well, I know about, but tell everybody. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I want to say we had serious family drama growing up, but I mean, I grew up with 6 other siblings, but I mean, like as during my childhood, we actually had fun. I mean, it was good to have like a lot of siblings, but one thing that was off-putting to me was, you know, my father, he was like a mean drunk, and thank the Most High I didn't pick up that trait because I'm more of a happy drunk. I mean, I get fucked up and just laugh. I mean, I love doing that, but in this case, I mean, once he got drunk, I mean, he just took out his frustrations and stress on us, and I really didn't like that. But like in general, as far as families, man, like, you know, we don't know how to seek therapy, we don't know how to exercise conflict resolution, so I mean, in general, we just have a culture. So, you know, we rather celebrate niggas getting out of jail instead of, you know, people graduating from college or celebrating job promotion. So that's one thing as a community that we can start embracing each other about. So, but, you know, as far as like a good thing for me was to just to get away from the city, just go to the military, just to kind of learn like the world on a macro level. I get to be exposed to different types of races, and I was exposed to, you know, like generals and colonels, and you know, I kind of got an idea of how they think, how they operate, how they communicate. So once I got back, I'm more of a more older student once I got to college, and you know, and I took it serious and graduated college, worked a couple jobs, and now I'm in my career. So made the old trope, each one teach one. So you know, I definitely want to raise my girls to well, I want to raise my girls better than I was raised. So, but right now, you know, I'm trying to get my girls to private school. So there's way better education that I was accustomed to. So, but but yeah, man. I mean, yeah, we just got to learn how to brace each other better. So that's all I got.
Yeah. So like I said, man, and I appreciate you guys even sharing what you guys are sharing, man. Like I said, it's not always easy for us to kind of we can joke and we joke and all that, which is cool, you know, but you know, we all have our own lives and family we deal with on a daily basis. So I appreciate the moment just sharing what you guys sharing now, because sometimes some guys just don't do that, man. It's just like it's always kicking it, partying, and that's it. But life ain't like that.
Right.
You know, life ain't always, you know.
Nelly, you said it earlier. You said, I mean, not when I say earlier, this off the motherfucking podcast, but we talked a long time ago, the four of us, when we was like, man, we closer to each other than still our family, though. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, once my grandmother passed, I didn't really, you know, it's like everybody else, you just start seeing horns and tails. So, you know what I'm saying? It was like, damn, you know, but it was like, I knew I can always talk to you niggas. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if it's come hell or high water, or if I do need that drink or that laugh, I can come to y'all and I don't mind like telling y'all whatever was going on. Cause you know, like, I mean, you always saying like your family, they, you know, sometimes family isn't who you grew up. Well, family ain't the people that had you. Family could be just motherfuckers you meet in the world and find out they really care about you.
Thanks.
You see what I'm saying? Just the people you meet in the world, that starts your family, your guys, your core guys, that's your family, you know what I'm saying? And then, I mean, we some drunks and assholes to laugh, but when it's time to be serious, if you need some good advice, we not gonna steer each other wrong.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I always took that too, shit. The four of us, whatever we talked about and shit after drinking or whatever on some serious shit, you take heed to that and just know, well, I know these three niggas got my back no matter what. And so guess what? You take that going into our marriages. You know what? These my guys, they got my back, baby. They telling me you A-okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna raise this family right. But you know, when at the end of the day, my wife know this y'all my family. You know what I'm saying? She know who my motherfuckers who really give a fuck about me. And like you say, maybe you don't get I love you from the other people out in the world, but we love each other, so fuck it.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
I love y'all niggas.
Real talk, man. I ain't mean to be all like that, man.
No, but I'm saying, man.
The DMX shit, this shit, we war. Let me get some
fellas,
goose.
I mean, for real though, guys. I mean, there's a lot of fellas. We like almost 20 years in at this point. There's a lot of people who grew up together who let bullshit get between them, and now 20-year relationships are over because people not in tune with their feelings, or they couldn't communicate what they was feeling, and
That's
instead of just talking it out, you know, they let that anger get in front of that, man. You know, and I know personally how I feel. You know, when I wasn't talking to you guys for a while, man, it killed me every day, and it took sometimes. It took, you know, my wife to kind of just say, okay, nigga, I see that you hurting. Just go ahead and just put it out there. You know what I mean? While you keeping it in. You know, so I know how that felt. So I can't imagine on the people who guys who've been together all these years and can't tell each other how they feel, or somebody get in an argument in the crew and they just it's over because we proudful, because we men, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay, keep in mind too, man. A lot of people, like one of the things my dad told me a long time ago, man. I was probably freshman, sophomore in high school. He was like, you know, son, you know, the people that you cover right now, these people that you call your friends, you think you love them, but 5-10 years from now, you ain't even gonna know these people.
You're not gonna know them, G.
Yeah.
And I when he told me that, I was like, man, I wanted to tell him, fuck you, Dad. You know what the fuck
right,
you
don't like my friends,
Dad. But rest assured, ain't none of them niggas around. Ain't none of them niggas
around. Being honest, man.
And I tried to hold on to some of them too. You know what I'm saying? Out of, you know, faith that, you know, they was there in the beginning and they knew what we all came from the same place. But it ain't, you know, I brought up some of y'all met some of them, but they just don't stick around, bro.
Man,
ain't nothing I can do about that.
Man, fellas, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you guys real quick. You know, I feel like over the last few years, you know, we all, when I say me all, I mean y'all guys, I have gotten closer with you guys over the years. But prior to that, you know, Randall for me was, you know, our connection was a little different than you guys. I actually went to school with him, but you know, he was that guy that I used to call constantly, and you know, and just talk about certain things. And then even like I said, even with, I found out early who my friends were, you know, and Rob would know this personally because my shit was down and out. You know what I mean? I ain't had nowhere to go. You know, that's what I knew for a fact. Okay, I got some real niggas on my ship. You know what I mean? So, yeah. You know, when Randall passed on, it hurt. It still hurt to this day, man. So a lot of times I don't even know how to, like, sometimes I think about it like real shit. Like, it wasn't a day that we didn't talk for the most part. So it made me realize quick, you know, to just relish who close to you, who around you, you know. And like you said, E, you know, when Trina came around, she knew quickly, you know, who my friends were, you know what I mean? And so until this day, you know, we ain't all had different girlfriends over the years, but I mean, the one consistent thing is that we always been together. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, you know what I mean? Through the good and the bad, and through all the countless women in our lives.
Hey, and it fucked up part. Y'all say that shit, but it's times where you done had that argument with them exes, and I'll be like, so you want to hang out with your friends? Hey, them 3 motherfuckers gonna be around and you won't. That I can't guarantee. You know what I'm saying? You be looking at her like, motherfucker, I'm telling you, they're gonna always be here. You might not always be here, but I can count on them niggas. So Eric, I'm out the door. G, for real talk.
Eric, you know,
conversations.
Eric, you know our history, man. We was on bullshit together.
Man. Good time. No.
Hey.
No, we had a nice, we all had a great, like, what's
Fast
that?
forward this part.
I'm not pushing out there, but like from 19 to about 28, I tell people today, I'm like, that was one long day.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying as far as I'm sorry, Rob. I'm just saying as far as the friendship, all the BS that we have done and been through. You know what I mean?
Still here, right?
We can look back on the 9. We can look back on the 9 and laugh about it. But it's like, man, you know, that shaped our lives, man.
Yeah, I got your back. What you say, Rob?
My thing is with y'all, man. If y'all go fuck around, do you, but do not put me as your alibi, because there was a couple times where y'all chicks would like call me looking for y'all. I'm like, oh,
yeah. We got it. We had hit that age bracket when your girlfriend said she call a friend and be like,
Rob.
hey, y'all out there kicking it, right? You look like, nah, yeah, I guess.
Hey, Rob, I use Eric's name all the time. I'm like, man, you know Eric a hoe. You know Eric a hoe.
But that's the thing. Why would you use the worst nigga? You know
I always use Rob.
Right, motherfucker, who you was with? Eric? Oh, so you was out cheating. Right. Right. But this, you know how this nigga, man, told this nigga shut the fuck up. He talking to every bitch in the club.
I couldn't tell him it was Rob. Rob would have told the truth. No, he's not with me.
Yeah, Mr. You.
Y'all terrible at Alabama.
Yeah.
I gotta give me a heads up or something, man.
But see, Phil, you don't never know. I'm sorry. She might call you like, yeah, we out here get fucked up. Well, you'll be in your mood. You be like, I ain't talking to that nigga in 3 days.
No. I'd be like, hold on one second. Let me. I gotta call you right now. And then I call you. And what the fuck you doing, nigga?
Hey, nigga, bitches. Hey.
Then I hit up back like, yeah, you know, we was an emergency. What now? What you was asking?
Then we be like, hey, by the way, if my woman call you, don't answer.
Hey,
it's 1 in the morning.
Hey, I'm like, Eric, man, I'm out and about. If she call you, do not pick up the phone.
Don't pick up the phone. And then the phone just ringing. Now the chick I'm with think I'm cheating and shit because I ain't answering the motherfucking phone. You answer it if it ain't for you.
And to this day, I don't know how the girlfriend got your number. They don't have anybody's number, but they had your number. Always.
Hey, E.
Always.
And I stayed lying. Huh?
Hey, E, this fucked me up one time. One of your exes had called my sister's home number, and I have no idea how she got that number.
What?
You know who that was?
That sound like D. That kind of sound like D.
No, that was.
Don't be naming names.
That was AF. AF.
Yeah.
All Ben Sands.
Oh.
Anyway,
that bitch called Pizza Hut because the car clubs used to have meets at Pizza Hut.
Oh shit!
She called Pizza Hut on 95th and West. It's gone now. I think it's Marquette Bay. And they said, Eric, somebody called. I said, ain't nobody called no damn Pizza Hut looking for me. They said, we sure told them you wasn't here. I got home. She didn't believe I was there. Whole nother argument. Good times. Good times.
You was giving her that DMX, man. That's probably why she was going crazy.
Man, at that age, I might have been doing.
He was kissing all in the mouth.
Kissing in the mouth, nigga. Damn, y'all.
All right, for the last topic, y'all. As far as activism, it's the new Grift. Now, the reason why I kind of
what does that mean? What does that mean?
It seemed like right nowadays, activists or actorivists are like using certain platforms to like have like personal agendas instead of helping like the common folk. So I mean,
like who, Rob?
Activists. Okay, I mean, I'll give you some examples, but like certain activists, I mean, it is a thankless job. And you're supposed to be the liaison between the disenfranchised and the establishment who can like inflict like real change to like make things better. But like certain folks like Patrice Cullors and Colin Kaepernick and the OGs, Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, Benjamin Crump. I mean, every time something happens, like these people are first to talk to the media to like calm down the masses, but behind the scenes, they go get their bag.
They get their bag, folks.
They ambulance chasers.
Yes, exactly. So,
but like you said, it's a thankless job, dude. Like we said, we don't get one day to talk about this religion, but it's just the pastor, dude. You know what I'm saying? Just go through me. I'm gonna make sure everything good on this side. Y'all come through me, and I'll be y'all voice. You know what I'm saying? A reason. It's like, dude, all I see is you reaping all the benefits of my motherfucking woes. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Same thing with the activism shit. Gee, dude, I'm telling you, I believe it's genuine people out here that give a fuck about us. I do. I really think it's people out there that's in those same lights where they can help us, can really have people help us. But it's far and few though, man. You know what I'm saying? It's far and few. I
think the thing is, if you get into that position where people are looking at you to affect change, you're gonna start. It's gonna be hard for some people to turn away the opportunities that it presents. Because if everybody turning to me, let's just be real. If everybody giving you $1 to spend money on something, right? Let's say if you got 500 people giving you $1 to go and buy groceries, you're gonna get to the grocery store and start shopping cheap as hell, right? Because you want to keep bringing back 300.
I'm only gonna get to $325 worth of groceries.
And that's just what it is, you know, because you're going to tax based on what you feel like your effort is worth. So I mean, you can't really knock them if they good at it.
Yeah, but it's one thing to do that.
That's the truth, though. But that's kind of what they do, mister.
That's essentially what it is.
Right, that's true. But like, it's one thing to do that, but it's like another thing to be co-opted by the establishment and you join the establishment.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. So you get the 500. Now I'm only gonna give them $300 worth. The establishment, like, man, I make sure 2 weeks from now I give you another 200. But do this instead of spending 300 on them, only spend 2. You keep 2, give me 1, and then I hit you on the back end. Now guess what? Now them same motherfuckers that gave you $500 only getting $200 worth of shit, and a couple of people can really fucking count and be like, hey, we getting shorted. And that's what it is.
All right.
And it's like, we gave you, we putting all this into you. Now, you, nigga, because no matter what, now you're living a little bit better, and I'm starting to see it. Now you got another group of 500 people giving you $500. And another group that's giving you $500. And now the establishment like, well, shit, let's get the motherfuckers 100. You keep 300, give us 2 weeks, give you 6 on the back end.
You sound like a pro, brother.
I'm just telling you what the fuck the world is.
That's exactly what the world is, mister.
So I'm the nigga that, man, I ain't got that platform. Well, but guess what? When everybody giving up 500 and when everybody giving up the $1, I'm only giving a quarter.
Well,
because I got my other niggas just giving a quarter, so that's $1. And then I'm still gonna get to reap my shit. Go ahead, Nels.
Well, for me, if you think of activism, I think of Martin Luther King, right? For instance, if you're gonna be an activist, for me, I feel like you have to have something to lose. Because if you're not putting anything on the line to lose, who you really advocating for? You or the people? My thing is, Martin Luther King, for instance, put his life on the line every day. And now, however you might want to look at it, you know what I mean? He was out there every day on the front line trying to make a difference to his death, obviously. So
right.
When he died, he didn't die no millionaire. He didn't die no billionaire.
Nelly, I said far and few.
Let's not forget though. Let's not forget Dr. King was out there throwing that thing around with all of these women.
But that's not what we're going, Phil. That's not where we're going, Phil. That's not where we're going, Phil.
That was his benefit. That's what he was a ball player. That's the same as a ball player. He was out here and all of the females was just sitting around. What was he supposed to say? No.
Nelly, That nigga, he going right to Arizona where he belong, right? You belong in that state, motherfucker. God damn.
Nah. Peace and love to Dr. King and all his children.
I'm just saying, I can't remember the young lady name. Nikki Mallory or
Tamika Mallory.
Tamika Mallory. Yeah. She just got a endorsement deal with Buick.
Okay, it was Cadillac.
Cadillac. Okay. I couldn't remember. I started looking at that sideways. Now I ain't mad that she's trying to make it. She's trying to make money. Maybe that's her way of making money on her own. But it doesn't look right. If that makes sense. You know, like
right. Regina King is a spokesperson for Cat. Now she doing Caddy, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but she's not an activist. She is an actress, director.
But I'm saying she's short, but in all of her commercials, it show her doing a direct. She's showing you like, man, I'm a businesswoman about this life. You can be about this life, and we can still ride pretty. Like the commercials say, she don't even need fucking words. She always going back to the hood. She's showing you that, man, I directed this fucking commercial. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Young black or older, because she's been in the game for so long. Older black women, we can get in this game just like these big guys, these big fishes and shit. That's all I'm saying. What she doing now?
You gotta look too.
So what's the difference between somebody who talks nice to get his point across and then an activist? Because that's all activists are, really, right? They talk good. They present whatever they're presenting looks good. And then what? Then what happened? What's the difference?
Depend on if they Martin Luther King or somebody getting that $500. It depends on what their main motive is to get up there. Like you said, are you for yourself or are you really 100% for the people?
Because like activists makes the room uncomfortable. They like put a mirror in front of all the atrocities going on.
Because like I said, Rob, because real activists have things to lose. So they're gonna shake a couple of feathers. They're gonna throw a couple of stones because they're trying to shake up the room. And so the backlash from that could be they lose their job or death.
Or death. For real.
Death. You know what I'm saying? So to me, if you're an activist, you have to have something to lose. You have to not have an agenda. You just have the agenda is to free the people or bring justice to whatever you're bringing justice to. You can't, hey man, give me a fee of $500 and I'm gonna tell this person over here. To me, that's not activism because anybody can do that. You can
but that's just the thing, though. That's just the thing. In a capitalist society, your word is only going to go so far. You have to have influence and financial influence in order to push any agenda, regardless of how polarizing the agenda is. So in a scenario where, and I don't know about the young lady you was talking about who got the deal with Buick or whatever, but what is Buick now doing in order for her to be on that platform? Is Buick donating money to any particular cause and just using her to kind of capitalize on the moment? Exactly. They could be doing that, but if she wasn't doing that endorsement, what would Buick be doing? Nothing. So it's a win-win in some instances, and this may not be the scenario because I don't know the full story, but in some situations, if you make that deal with the devil, so to speak, and we're not saying Buick is the devil, I'm just saying you could be potentially opening a lot of doors that you would never have had access to.
Well, here's my rebuttal to that. It's very lucrative for like corporations to like get into the whole like women empowerment thing that's going on right now, just like with Goldman Sachs, Visa, throwing all this money to like black women. And what was troubling to me about the commercial was she like got out of the like the SUV and went to a house, and it was like a whole bunch of black women dressed like revolutionary mercenaries, saying that how black women are the women that's going to get this country back in track. I thought that was problematic because, I mean, like black men are pretty much done if they're going to throw all this money to black women, because the best way to like conquer a race is to marginalize the man and to co-opt the women. And that's what's going on with the black community right now.
No argument.
I can't argue that one.
No argument, G. Go ahead, Phil.
You niggas.
Go ahead, Phil.
You niggas are done.
I ain't seen the commercial.
Hey,
well, from what you described, it just sounds like some bullshit. Right.
I would like to see the commercial. My goddamn.
Right. I haven't seen the commercial either, so I kind of want to save my judgment, but.
Well, after the podcast, I'll find the link and I'll send it to y'all, and then y'all could just view it and
right.
thoughts on it. So, y'all got anything else before we do the beauty of the week?
Yeah. Nah, man. Just another shout out to DMX, G. Like I say, man, rest in heaven, man. He one of rappers. He not my top 5, but he guaranteed in my top 10. And even if he wasn't even that, he was a special rapper. Like, I wouldn't even have to judge him for you to understand how much the nigga meant to me when I played my music. You know, Miss, I saw you, Pete, when my oldest daughter was on Facebook crying about it. You know what I'm saying? Because she called me. She like, Daddy, I was like 5 or 6, but this is all I fucking heard in the car all day long. You know what I'm saying? It was DMX. You know what I'm saying? So.
Shame on you playing that music around the 5.
Hey, first CD she ever bought, I let her buy was Eve. She bought Eve. That's her first CD she ever had.
Hey, speaking of top 5, remember he made that cameo in that movie with Chris Rock?
Did he?
Yeah.
He was in that movie?
Yeah, he was in top 5.
Dude, they were showing all the cameos he been in, cameos in people's videos. Man, X was, Romeo Must Die. That was when I saw Jet Li tweet, you know what I'm saying, how much, like, damn, I had a good time filming a movie with you. Mm-hmm. That shit was hot. Like I said, he had the movie deals, y'all. I would still say he had a great life. A lot of people, and I know his close people, family and friends gonna be like, it was a rough life, but to us it was still good. And we, like I said, just cherish the shit that he done did, man. I've been bumping this shit all weekend, G. Like, I've been playing this shit all weekend.
Bro,
hey,
I like to.
I'm sorry.
I just like to end with just make sure we check on our strong friends, man. That's all. Just check on our strong friends. Some people, DMX seemed like a very unselfish person, So
yeah, they said it.
I hope at the end of his journey, he got that same support back. So my last thought of the other podcast is just make sure you check on your strong friends. Man. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, shout out to Jay-Z and Beyonce for like buying his catalog and giving it to his kids. So yeah, kudos to them. I'm definitely proud of them for doing that.
Man, that was great, man. Yeah. That's great.
Y'all.
Show me this beauty, G. Show me this beauty.
This beauty of the week, y'all. She's 28 years old, born in Plantation, Florida. She is of Trinidadian descent. Her dad was a Pro Bowl runner back with the Patriots back in 1988. She has won Grand Slam in the 2017 U.S. Open. And gentlemen, this is Miss Sloane Stephens.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice.
She got some thighs on her.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
She got some thighs.
Nice. Oh, yeah. That's my new screensaver. All right.
Well, how about that one?
Her booty airbrushed. Her booty airbrushed.
Yeah, give me the one with the leg.
Yeah, go back to the last one.
It wouldn't have been no Dr. Phil didn't shoot
somebody. You see that mark right there. That mark airbrush. But the rest I ain't saying that don't change much. That don't change much though.
Yeah, we like him. We like a nigga.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Hi, y'all, man. Episode 37 CornaStore podcast. We had a good week, y'all. And last week we had a hiatus rather because of the Easter and
Easter holiday.
Y'all catch the verses last week by chance?
No.
I did.
It was actually pretty good. I mean, I
heard it was real good.
Yeah.
I might check it out tonight.
If you're in your 40s, it was great.
You said if you was in your 40s, it was great. I heard it was really good, so I think I'm gonna check it out tonight. When
I heard a lot of females thirst trapping the old men now.
Oh yeah, Ron Isley. Yeah, they was definitely doing that. So
yeah,
I'm burnt out on the whole
verses now.
It's just lame, man. I'm sorry, it's lame.
You ain't liking it?
Nah. I just go to YouTube and put a mix on. I don't need to
put a mix on. Yeah,
I don't need to watch.
And that's the thing.
That's just weird. Just I'm gonna play my song and you listen to it. Motherfucker, I bought the CD 20 years ago. I don't need to. I'm over it. I'm glad people found a format that they can enjoy, and it's great. But I'm over it.
All right, y'all. Signing off, y'all. We see y'all next week, man. Be safe.
See y'all next week, y'all. We out of here.
All right, peace.
All right, fellas.